His death is being described in the 4th chapter and in the 12th chapter of this canto. Abhimanyu sutam suta prahur bhag Parikshit Maharaj. How did the great king Parikshit die? Because he was a great devotee of the Lord. Bhagavatottamam tasya janma mahabuddhe karmani cha mahatmanaha nidhanam cha yathaivatsi sapretya gadvanyatha. O Suta Goswami, please tell us how Parikshit Maharaj, he left his body. So in this section, a very dramatic turn of events is happening where Emperor of the world is cursed by a small, insignificant Brahmana boy who was so puffed up, was so proud of his Brahmanical powers and Brahmanical birth. And on Sunday, Shyamanand Prabhu very nicely described the harsh speech which Shringi is speaking here. He is calling Parikshit Maharaj as a watchdog and as a crow. So, because Parikshit Maharaj is not an ordinary personality, he is the emperor of entire Bhumandal. Namanti atpada niketam atmanaha shivaya haniya dhanani shatrava. All the great kings of the Bhumandal, they would come and bow down in front of Parikshit Maharaj. He was not an ordinary personality. Okay. So Prabhupada writes, this mentality of false prestige is the cause of fall down of the perfect social order. So basically, all our anarthas, all our uncontrolled senses, they practically blind us to the realities of the world. They are like the cataract which covers our vision and we cannot see the person actually. Vidya tapo vittavapu vayokulai satamune shatkara sattametara smritau hatayam hritamana durdrisha sabdhana pashyanti hidham bhuyasam. So Lord Shiva is telling to Parvati, please don't go to your father's place because he is envious of me. So Sati says, well, he is a very learned person and he has good qualities also. Vidya, Tapa, Vitta, Vapu, Vaya, Kul. So Lord Shiva tells Parvati, Sati, that even if somebody has all these qualities, he has good knowledge, he has done lots of austerity, very wealthy person, youthful body, high birth, but still, if he is proud of all these things, he cannot see the glory of a great person. Sabdha means a proud person. Na pashyanti, he cannot see the glory of a great personality. And that is the typical thing which is happening here. A small insignificant Brahmana boy, he is proud and puffed up of his Brahmanical prowess. And he is daring to curse a great king and a great devotee also. He is Bhagavatottamam and he is Raj Rishi. So therefore, we have to be very, very careful that these anarthas, they can really make us blind and they can make us go down to the lowest of the levels. And in every situation we need the intervention of the Supreme Lord and intervention of the great devotees to remove this cataract, to remove this, faulty vision. And that is called as Sudarshan. When Kapila Dev is describing the form of the Lord in 3rd canto, there he speaks, a devotee should meditate on the hands of the Lord, arms of the Lord. And in the arms of the Lord you will see Sudarshan Chakra. Mahumshavandagire parivartanena nirnikta bahuvalayana nilokapalan sanchindaye dashashatarama sahyateja shankam charatkar sarorvarajhamsam. A devotee should meditate on the arms of the Lord, and the arms are decorated with beautiful bracelets, shining. And then the devotee should meditate on the Sudarshan, Dashishata. Sudarshan has 1000 forks. So this Sudarshan dispels the darkness within the heart by its effulgence and destroys all the demoniac forces and the propensity of doubt and to be proud. They are the demoniac forces in the heart of a living entity. So therefore, we have to be very careful and take shelter of Sudarshan. So when you will explain, Sudarshan also means, darshan means philosophy. So Sudarshan means when we read the philosophy of Krishna consciousness regularly, when we read the pastimes of the Lord regularly, then we are not affected by pride and all these anarthas, because we understand when we see and read the pastimes of these great devotees like Parikshit Maharaj, and today is also appearance day of Vrindavan Das Thakur, such a great devotee, and we'll discuss something about him also, how Chaitanya Charitamrita Kaviraj Goswami describes in such a humble way the glories of Vrindavan Das Thakur also. So basically these anarthas which we have, they can actually blind us. They can make us really blind, and we cannot even realize that we are going away from the Lord. Lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, all these are the deadly anarthas which will really blind us. We see in the story of Dhritarashtra, which comes in the first canto itself, 13th chapter. So Dhritarashtra, although he had lost everything, but still he was so attached to living in a good condition that he was not going to forest. Even before the war of Kurukshetra, so many people came and they gave good counsel to Dhritarashtra that please give up this Duryodhana. He will be the cause of the destruction of your family. Even Akuruji came and gave good instructions. So Dhritarashtra says that actually your instructions are amazing, but they are like lightning in the sky of my heart. They don't stay long. They illuminate my heart for some time and then they are gone. And then Vidurji was again and again telling him that please give up this son. Saesha dosha purushas vidaste grihan prashtoya patyamatyah Pushnashi Krishna Vimukha Tajatta Shaivam Tulakaushadaya. Saesha dosha, this Duryodhan, he is the result of the sin of your 10 million lives. Jitna paap kiya sabka phal hai. So he is sin personified. He is Purusha Dvid. He is envious of Supreme Lord. So how can he do any good to you? Even while living, he will not do any good to you. And even after you die, he will not do Shraddha also. Because he is envious of Supreme Lord. And in the Shraddha, he offered Pindadan to the Lord only. Bhog, Prasad, Bhog we offer to the Lord, Vishnu. So this personality has entered your house to destroy your house. Please give him up. Still, Dhritarashtra could not do it. And then, ultimately, by the intervention of a great devotee, Vidurji, he came to the senses. When Vidurji, in his strong words, he gave such wonderful instructions. He said, "O king, just get out of here, Rajan nirgamyatam shigra." Just see how you have been overcome by fear. Pashedam bhayamagatam. You are so fearful. So please get out. So Dhritarashtra, as he heard this, he may say that, well, my whole life you have given me so many remedial measures. Please give some remedy for this also. So he says, there is no remedy for this. Pratikriyanayasyeha kutaschit karhichit prabho saesh bhagavan kala sarvesham na samagata. Supreme Lord has come in the form of time. You cannot do anything about it. Just see, you have become so fearful. You are already blind. Now you have become deaf also. Andha pureva badhiro manda pragya. You cannot remember anything. Vishirna danta, your teeth are falling. Mandagni, you cannot digest anything. As you are breathing, all the ragas are coming out. Saragam kafamudhvan. So just get out of this place immediately. Actually, you should have left this palace long back. So you could not do it earlier, at least do it now. So that's how, by the good instructions of Vidurji, Dhritarashtra could come out of this blindness of moha. And we see in the case of Ajamil, he was blinded by lust. As he saw that degrading scene, he tried to remember so many instructions which he had read in the scriptures, but still he was blinded by lusty desires. Stambhayan atmanatmanam yavat sattvam yathashrutam na sashaka samadhatum mano madan vepitam. When a person is blinded by lust, all the good instructions are of no use. Even if he hears 100 seminars on how to overcome lusty desires, but when the lust attacks, and the lust does not attack automatically sometimes. Sometimes we consciously create situations where we are affected by lust. So therefore, we have to be really very careful, being a practicing sadhaka, not to expose ourselves to a situation which requires self-control. Chaitanya Prabhu says, the best way to do sense control is to avoid places which require sense control. So that's how we have to be really careful. Otherwise, we'll be really blinded by these lusty desires. And by the mercy of the devotees, it is said that how this Ajamil named his son Narayan. Because one time he was not there at his home and some devotees came begging some alms. And this lady, she had nothing, the wife of Ajamil. So then these devotees said, well, you can do one favor for us. At least name your child Ajamil, name your child as Narayan. That's how, by the mercy of the devotees, the child was named as Narayan. And then, by the mercy of the Lord's holy names, he was delivered. So that's how, at every stage, we require intervention of devotees. And many times envy also blinds us when we cannot tolerate the progress and advancement of others, even in spiritual circles. If we see some devotee has come after us and he has gone ahead, he is taking so many responsibilities, he is so much famous, so it is so very intolerable. Although we may not like it, but still we become envious. And we can see in the story of Prithu Maharaj and Indra. Indra is such a great personality. And he knew that Prithu is doing these yagyas for the welfare of society. But still, when he crossed 99 and started doing 100th one, Indra, out of his envy, he started creating so many false religions. He started taking the dress of so many pseudo-gurus, pseudo-religionists. And he was practically blinded by envy. But ultimately, by the intervention of Brahmaji and by the humble nature of Prithu Maharaj, Indra could understand his mistake. And in this case, we see Shringi, he is really blinded by pride. And as we know, it is said, pride comes before a fall. So it is very, very graphically described here how Shringi, he is the cause of the downfall of the Brahminical community. Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Dambho darpo abhimanascha krodha parushyam Ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampada asurim. So what are the demoniac qualities? Dambha, darpa, abhiman, krodha, parushya and ajnan. So these three words, dambha, darpa and abhiman, these are the different shades of pride. Dambha means when one doesn't have good qualities but still boasts about them. You have nothing but still you are talking about, I have this, I have that. And darpa means when one has good qualities and talks about it. And abhiman means when one is hungry for respect. Just like one time there was one devotee. Prabhupada named him Gunamayi Devi Dasi. So she thought maybe Prabhupada saw something in me. That's why he has given this wonderful name Gunamayi. So she thought, why to speculate? Better ask Prabhupada. So she asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why have you given me this name Gunamayi Devi? So Prabhupada said, you are from Laguna beach, right? So in Laguna, the Guna comes, That's why I have given you the name, Gunamayi. So she became very humble and she offered obeisances and left and realized that I have no good qualities. Just it is a coincidence. So that's how, when one thinks that, okay, I may have these qualities. So that is called as dambha. When one has no good qualities, still boasting about it. And darpa means when one has good qualities and talks about it. One time Prabhupada, one devotee made samosas for Prabhupada. And she offered to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was eating one after another. So maybe she thought, maybe Prabhupada likes my cooking. So maybe I am the best cook. Otherwise, why Prabhupada would eat so many samosas? So she asked, Prabhupada, who is your favorite cook? Prabhupada said, myself. So that's how, when one thinks that he has good qualities and he starts talking about it, that is darpa. So Duryodhan is a classic example of all these three. Dambha, Darpa and Abhiman. He was boasting about his own glories. When the Pandavas were in Kamyavan, in exile, so he wanted to boast about how glorious he is, how much wealth he has. But ultimately he was, defeated by the Gandharvas and he became humble. And under the influence of the pride and arrogance, he tried to destroy Pandavas many times. But because of his pride, he fell down repeatedly. So in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, Karbhajan Rishi is telling Nimi Maharaj, there are 8 reasons to be proud. And we'll be discussing this elaborately. Shriya vibhutya bhijanena vidyaya tyagena rupena balena karmana jatasmainanda dhiya saheshwaran sato avamanyanti hari priyan khalaha. So in this verse, he's telling, O king, there are 8 reasons because of which a person becomes proud. Shriya, because of his wealth. Vibhuti, because of his power. Abhijana, because of his good birth. Vidya, because of knowledge he has, education he has. Tyag, somebody may be proud of his tyag also, renunciation. Rupena, because of his beauty. Balena, because of his strength. Karmana, if somebody is expert in doing all the rituals very nicely. What happens? What takes birth? Jata smaya. Smaya means pride. This pride practically makes one andha. Andhadhiyaha. He is blinded by pride. When one has these 8 things and he is not in right consciousness, he is blinded by pride. And you know what is the result of this? He becomes disrespectful. Sato avamanyanti. He becomes disrespectful towards the Lord and towards the devotees of the Lord. He becomes cruel. And that's why, as a result, he becomes foolish. So how Shriya and Abhijana blinds a person? Shriya means good wealth and Abhijana means good birth. And the classic example of this is Nalakuvar and Manigriv. They were blinded by good wealth and good birth. Associates of Rudra, sons of Kuvera, wealthiest person. Rudrasya anucharo bhutva sudriptao dhanadatmajo kailashopovane ramye mandakinyo madotkato Varunim madiram pitva mada ghurnitalochano stri jane ranughayadbhir cheratu pushpitevane. Rudrasya anuchar. And very effulgent body, Sudripta. Dhanada means Kubera. Dhanada Atmaja, sons of Kubera. What they were doing? Kailash Upavane. They were roaming around in the garden of Kailash, in Mandakini Ganga, with all the damsels of heaven, and intoxicated with liquor. Marunim Madhiram Pitva. That's how they become proud. And they become practically blinded. And Narad Muni, when he comes, as a result of this pride, they don't even cover themselves. And they are thinking, why Narad Muni of all the places has to come here? Maybe he has some purpose, That is how wealth and good birth blinds a person. But this pride can be removed by the mercy of the devotees only. That's why Narad Muni cursed him. Tayor anugraharthaya shatam dasyam idam jago. Just to show mercy to Nalakuvar and Manigriv, Narad Muni cursed them. And as a result of that curse, they had darshan of the Lord himself. In contrast to this, we see the great kings like Amrish Maharaj. They had everything. They were the emperors of the whole Bhumandal. But still, so very humble. Even when Durvasa Muni comes, he is so very humbly accepting the false wrong dealing of Durvasa Muni. We see the life of Bharat Maharaj. Such a great king, but still he is not proud of it. Dyustajan, that which is very difficult to give up, he gave up his wife, family, children, kingdom. Parikshit Maharaj, he was the king of the whole planet. And that's what astonished the sages. That this personality is the king of all the world, but still he is giving up everything. How is this possible? So that's how the devotees, they are not affected by this wealth. And that's what the case was the case of Raghunath Das Goswami. He was the sole, heir of the entire property of Govardhan Majumdar and Hiranya Majumdar. They were practically billionaires. But still, because he was attached to the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Pada Padma Gandha Jai Jana Paye Brahma Lok Adi Sukh Tare Nahi Bhai. Anybody who gets the dust and attraction for the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Brahma Lok Adi Sukh Tare Nahi Bhai. He never gets attracted and affected by the happiness and the wealth of this world, even up to Brahma. So that's how these great devotees, they are so full of Krishna that all this worldly attraction doesn't attract them. Because they have seen the beauty of Krishna. That's why they are not attracted by anything of this world. So we, as practicing devotees, we have to be very careful not to be proud of our wealth, of our skills. As we come in Krishna consciousness, we develop some skills, some qualities, but we should always remember that whatever qualities we have is by the mercy of the Lord. Tadvai dhanushtai shavaratho hayaste soham rathi nipatayastadanamanti sarvam shanena tadabhuda sadishariktam bhasmam hutam kuhakaradhamivoptumushyam. Arjuna, as he remembers that I had everything, I was able to even bewilder devatas. I was able to astonish Lord Shiva. I defeated Nivat Kavachas. I won the hand of Draupadi. I could defeat all the powerful warriors in Kurukshetra. But still, I could not protect the wives of Krishna from the hands of some infidel cowherd men. Why this happened to me? This is the same Dhanush, Tadvai Dhanush. Ta Ishava, same arrows, same Ratha, same horses, and I am the same warrior. But still, Sarvam Shanen, in a moment, everything has become null and void. Because just like if you put oblations in ashes, nothing will happen. It is just like somebody wants to create money by moving a magic wand. Nothing will come out. It is just like a crow taking away the oblations to be offered in sacrifice. All my power has gone. Everything has become null and void because Krishna has taken away my powers. Prabhupada writes a very important statement there. One should not be proud of the borrowed plumes. Nothing belongs to us. Our skills, our capacities, everything is coming from Krishna. So one should not be proud of it. One should be grateful to Krishna and the parampara so that we are able to do little bit of services here. So that is Shriya and Abhijana. One should not be proud of wealth and the high birth. Then one should not be proud of Vibhuti and Bala, proud of strength and power. And we see the classic example of Indra. Indra, he is working for the Supreme Lord. He knows that Lord Vishnu appears in every yuga, and when Vishnu himself, the source of Vishnu comes, Krishna comes, and he is doing his pastimes, Indra is becoming proud that I am doing all that. I am maintaining this entire universe. And when Krishna wants to destroy his pride, so he tells all the Brajvasis, you don't do Indra Puja, do Govardhan Puja. And Indra, what he says? Aho Srimad Mahatmyam Gopanam Kananaukasam Krishnam Martyam Upashritya Ye Chakru Deva Helana. He is proud and he is saying, these Brajvasis have become proud. Aho Srimad Mahatmyam, they have become proud of their wealth of cows. They are infidel cowherd men, they are small cowherd men, Gopanam, Kananaukasam, they are staying in forest. And just because this small talkative boy, Krishna, is saying something, they are daring to offend Devatas, Deva Helana. And then he speaks such harsh words as Shringi is telling to Parikshit. Similarly, he says, Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdham, Agyam, Panditamaninam, Krishnam Martyam Upashritya, Gopame Chakrurapriyam. So he's saying, just see this Krishna, talkative boy, Vachalam, Balisham, he is a small boy. Stabdham, arrogant. Who is arrogant? So he is himself proud and arrogant. He is saying Krishna is so arrogant. Agyam, he does not know my powers. Panditamaninam, apne aap ko pandit samajh raha hai, Panditamaninam. And these Gopas, they have taken shelter of this boy. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that all these words are glorification of Krishna. He says, Vachalam. Vachalam means Krishna is the only person who should speak. Nobody else is capable of speaking. Balisham, he is innocent. Krishna is innocent. Vachalam, Stabdham, he is capable of breaking the pride of big people. Agyam, because there is nothing to be known, because he knows everything. So what he will know? He is Agyam. Pandit Maninam, अरे बड़े बड़े पंडित इनको मानते हैं, So that's how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. And then ultimately, Supreme Lord, he destroys the pride of Indra. And then he says, after destroying the pride of Indra, Lord is telling to Indra, Indra, a person who is blinded by intoxication of his power and opulence, he cannot see me standing nearby. So therefore, if I desire real welfare for this personality, I take away everything. So that's how, whenever Lord intervenes in the life of a devotee, when Indra is a devotee, right? And Krishna doesn't want his devotees to be proud of anything. So Krishna makes sure that the pride of devotees is destroyed. Another example is when Indra offends his own spiritual master Brihaspati. And we should know that what is the situation of Indra. Indra, Tribhuvan Aishwarya, he has the wealth of all the three worlds. This is the word which is used there by Shukdev Goswami. Indra's Tribhuvan Aishwarya, Madon Langhit Satpathai, because of this wealth and power, he is blinded by that. And then he is surrounded. Just imagine if somebody has the wealth of all the worlds, and on top of that he is surrounded by people who are glorifying him. Parishritahi. So Indra is constantly surrounded by all the devatas and they are glorifying him. In Bhagavatam we only hear, all the bad words about Indra. But Indra is not an ordinary personality. Indra is worshipped like Supreme Lord. There are scriptures glorifying Indra as the Supreme Lord. Practically he is the Lord. So he is surrounded by all the aristocracy, wealth, followers. So they are worshipping him. Parishritai. They are surrounded by followers. And then on top of that they are serving him also. Nishevyamanaha. And then stuyamanaha. Surrounded by people who are serving you and glorifying you. That is really intoxicating. And as a result of that, he was intoxicated and blinded to the extent that he even didn't respect Brihaspati. One of the Prabhupada disciples, Gaur Vilas Prabhu, he was sharing that one time Prabhupada came to one of the temples in one of the temples, and the temple president, one of the devotees there, Lochananand Prabhu, he was introducing Prabhupada to all the devotees. And Gaur Vilas Prabhu and Ghanshyam Prabhu. Ghanshyam Prabhu is Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. Previously he was Ghanshyam Prabhu. So they both came little late, and by the time they came there, the room was already full of devotees. So Ghanshyam Prabhu, he sat at the end. He didn't just cross the devotees, and he was very humble and sat at the end. So Gaur Vilas Prabhu, he thought, I am the temple president. He was a temple president. So he made his way through all the devotees and went and sat right near Prabhupada. Because he was thinking, I am temple president. I have made all these devotees. So this Lochananand Prabhu he was introducing, and he said, Prabhupada, he is Gaur Vilas Prabhu. He is a temple president. Prabhupada didn't even look at him. Prabhupada kept looking here and there. And he was thinking as if I didn't exist. Prabhupada didn't hear my name or what? And then, he understood, kuch to garbad I did, And then Lochananand Prabhu said, and Prabhupada, there is Ghanshyam Prabhu, he likes to distribute your books. And he is doing book distribution in so many countries, including Russia. So Prabhupada said, oh, where is he? Please tell him to stand up. So Gaur Vilas Prabhu is thinking, I am temple president here. And Prabhupada didn't even look at me, didn't even recognize me. And here is Ghanshyam Prabhu, some book distribution, doing book distribution somewhere, and Prabhupada is giving so much respect, recognition. So that's how pure devotees, they can sense the pride in the minds of devotees. And therefore, they do all the arrangements to destroy the pride so that they can come near Krishna. So that's how pure devotees, they are personally never proud of their achievements. It comes in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam when Dhruva is going back to the spiritual world, and he remembers Suniti, his mother. So Nanda, Sunanda, the associates of the Lord, they point, oh Dhruva, just see in that plain, Suniti is already on the way to Vaikuntha. So Prabhupada writes a very, very wonderful and very, very sobering purport there, displaying his wonderful humility. He says, Suniti is Siksha Guru. She was the one who showed the path. You go to the forest. Tameva vatsashray bhritya vatsala mumukshubi mrigya padabja paddatim ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite manah avasthapya bhajasva purusham. That's what she said. Go to forest. Bhajasva purusham, worship Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord has the heart of millions of mothers. He will fulfill your desires. So she is Siksha Guru. So Prabhupada writes that by the mercy of a great disciple, a guru can also go to the spiritual world. So Prabhupada says, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, if I could deliver even one soul back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission to be successful. That is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And then Prabhupada continues. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading now all over the world. And sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruv Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. So that is the unparalleled humility of Prabhupada. He has power to take entire universe back to the spiritual world. Brahmanda tarite shakti dhare jane jane yai veda purane guna gaye jeva shune. That's what Devakinandan Thakur says. And he is displaying such humility. So that's how, Shriya, Vibhutya, Abhijanena, Vidya. And Vidya also blinds a person. We know the story of Rom Harshan Suta. He was practically blinded by his, education and knowledge. And he was thinking, I have been appointed as the guru and the speaker of, Bhagavatam or scriptures. So why should I get up? Balramji came and he didn't get up. In contrast to this, we see the humble nature of Rupa Goswami. When Rupa Narayan came, that famous scholar, and he was debating and defeating everyone. So somebody told that Rupa Goswami is a wonderful, powerful scholar. You go and debate with him. So Rupa Narayan went and debated, and he told Rupa Goswami, I want to debate with you. So Rupa Goswami says, well, you are such a wonderful scholar. We are small people staying in forest doing our bhajan. What do you want? He said, if you, accept defeat, please sign this Vijay Patra. So Rupa Goswami signed and said, okay, you go. You don't disturb me in my bhajan. That is how great devotees are. They are not, although he is a wonderful, powerful scholar, And Srila Prabhupada also, he has shown wonderful humility many times. Most always he was so very humble. Jadurani Mataji, she was telling that one time she wanted to paint a painting of Narsimhadev. And she had a small reference, 2 by 3 inch of a small painting of Narsimhadev. So she wanted to paint. So in that picture, she saw that there is an Indian rug, and on top of that, Narsimhadev is there with Hiranyakashipu. So she wanted to get some reference of Indian rug. So she remembered that, wherever Prabhupada sits, whenever Prabhupada sits at on that place, behind that, there is a painting in which there is an Indian rug. It was a huge painting. So she came and she saw that Prabhupada is sitting there. So she didn't want to step on that, mat. So she was, standing at a distance and jumping up and down to see. So Prabhupada said, what are you doing? So she said, Prabhupada, I want to see that, painting of the Indian rug. Prabhupada said, and she said, I don't want to climb on your bed. Prabhupada said, in Krishna's service, you can climb on my head also. What to speak of bed. So that's how, devotees are so very humble. Tyag can also make one proud. And Durvasa Muni is a classic example. He was thinking, I am a renounced person. And who is this Ambrish? He is a, king, attached person. How dare he eat, break his fast before offering me something? And then he wanted to kill Ambrish Maharaj. But as a result of this, Sudarshan started chasing Durvasa Muni. He ran all the way up to Shivaloka, Brahmaloka, ultimately Vaikuntha. And he is begging the Lord for protection. But the Lord is saying, I am helpless. I cannot do anything for you. Aham bhakta paradhino nahi aswatantraiva dvija. I am not independent. The Lord says, what are you proud of? What are you proud of? You are proud of your renunciation. What have you given up? You are running for your life. See my devotee Ambrish. He has given up everything. And he didn't even move. He is not attached to his life also. You created this demon and he didn't move also. So Lord says, how can I give up these devotees? Ye daragar putra apta pranan vittam imam param tyaktva mam sharanam yata katham stam tyaktum utsahe. How can I give up a devotee who has given up his wife, dara, agara, his home, ye dar, agar, putra, children, apta, relatives, to the extent pranan also, they are ready to give up their life also in my service. How can I give them up? So that is how devotee is never ever proud of his renunciation. He is so very humble. Ambarish is thinking, I am a attached householder. One time, in one temple, devotees made gulab jamun. And the temple president, he was thinking himself to be very austere, and he was thinking that everybody should do austerity also. So he told that, okay, everybody should eat only 2 gulab jamuns. There was a lot. So everybody went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, this devotee is telling only 2 gulab jamuns we can eat. So Prabhupada said, okay, yes, no problem. Everyone can eat as much as they want, but he will eat only 2. So that's how, Prabhupada would many times, burst the pride of any person thinking that I am so austere also. One devotee, Amogha Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple, he attended one of the lectures of Prabhupada, and he heard that one should not touch Bhagavatam to the floor. So then he thought, maybe many devotees are giving so many gifts to Prabhupada, I will also give something. So he made a Bhagavatam cover. Bhagavatam cover banate hai na, so that Bhagavatam is pure, doesn't touch the ground. And then he gifted to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, what is this? So he said, and he was thinking that I am so amazing, I brought a special gift for Prabhupada which nobody has given. So he was a little puffed up. So he tried to explain that, Prabhupada, it is for covering your Bhagavatam so that, Bhagavatam should not touch the floor. So Prabhupada said, I don't touch my Bhagavatam to the floor. Why have you given this book cover to me? I know how to respect Bhagavatam. And he became really confused. Ye to ulta hi ho gaya, I brought this cover of Bhagavatam as a gift, and Prabhupada is, so very angry. And he started chastising. And Prabhupada didn't even allow him to explain further. And then Prabhupada said, I keep my Bhagavatam on the shelf or table. I don't keep on the ground. Better you keep it. And you put your Bhagavatam in this cover. So he became really humble and said, okay, Prabhupada, sorry. And then he had brought a scarf also. So he gifted that, and he brought some mangoes. He gifted that. And then Prabhupada said, mangoes, very nice. So that's how he realized that all that wonderful, costly book cover didn't please Prabhupada much. So that's how a devotee is not proud of anything. And if he's proud of something, then devotees, senior devotees and Supreme Lord make sure that the pride is destroyed. And we see in the story in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami displays such a wonderful humility glorifying Vrindavan Das Thakur. Ore mudha loka shuna Chaitanya mangal Chaitanyera mahima yate jani be sakal. He's saying, oh foolish people, why are you reading my book? Any author will do that. He will give gali to the readers. Mera book mat padho, inka padho, ye acha hai. So he is saying, oh foolish people, read the book of Vrindavan Das Thakur. You will know all the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kahe Veda Vyas, Chaitanya Lila Ravyas Vrindavan Das. Just like Bhagavat, Vyas of Bhagavat is Dvaipayan Vyas. Similarly, the Vyas of Chaitanya Lila is Vrindavan Das Thakur. And Vrindavan Das Koila Chaitanya Mangal Yahara Shravane Nashe Sarva Amangal. Anybody who hears this Vrindavan Das's Thakur Chaitanya Mangal, all the inauspiciousness will be destroyed. And Vrindavan Das Thakur, he was born of Narayani, and Narayani is glorified as that personality who has received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narayani Chaitanyera Uchishta Bhajan Taragarbe Janmila Sri Dasa Vrindavan. Because Mahaprabhu personally gave his remnants to Narayani when she was a small girl, 4 years old girl. And this Narayani is Kilimbika. Krishna in the spiritual world, he has a nurse called Ambika, and Ambika's sister is Kilimbika. So Kilimbika appeared as Narayani, and from the womb of Narayani appeared Vrindavan Das Thakur. who has written this beautiful, wonderful book called Chaitanya Bhagavat. So on this day we can pray to Vrindavan Das Thakur and all these great devotees, so that also we can also develop this mood of humility and not be proud of whatever achievements we make. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.